Emmerdale has revealed the identity of the Firestarter, and they could soon be in serious trouble if Dingle and Robert Sugden discover the truth. Over the last few days, the pair have been working tirelessly to track down whoever has been starting fires at Emmerdale Farm. They considered several possible suspects. Kammy was initially on their list, but his strange behavior was explained by the fact he has been homeless and sleeping in one of the barns, meaning he was simply afraid of losing his temporary shelter. Ross Barton and Sam Dingle also raised Aaron and Robert's suspicions, but both were cleared after they were caught rehearsing a dance routine. Kev Townsend was another suspect, but he was ruled out as he is currently in prison. Because the Firestarter has shown skill at striking quickly and escaping without being seen, the only real clue Aaron and Robert had was that the culprit was always wearing a dark jumper. Realizing they weren't making progress as amateur investigators, Graham Foster decided to take charge of the search in the latest episode. He was seen on Emmerdale Farm using binoculars, which suggested he wasn't there for birdwatching, but was instead keeping watch for suspicious activity. However, while Graham was concentrating on finding the arsonist, he failed to notice Robert approaching from behind. Robert, holding a shotgun, believed he had finally caught the culprit. Things quickly escalated into a struggle, but Graham soon gained control and took the weapon from him. Graham then explained that he was on the land for the same reason, trying to uncover who was responsible for the fires. Later at Butler's farm, he joined Joe Tate, Robert, and Aaron as they discussed ways to stop the ongoing attacks on the farm. That evening, Aaron returned to Wishing Well feeling frustrated that they were still no closer to solving the mystery. He told Kammy, Kane Dingle, and Kyle Winchester that their investigation had gone nowhere, with the only detail they had being the dark jumper clue. Just as the episode ended, Kyle was shown setting fire to the piece of clothing, revealing that he is the true arsonist. Kyle clearly has motivation for revenge against Aaron and Robert, who previously forced him out of his home. With no one aware of his actions yet, it remains to be seen how long Kyle will continue his secret campaign of arson. Charity Dingle's plan takes a worrying turn in Emmerdale as Dr. Todd edges closer, leaving her increasingly anxious. What she failed to anticipate was that Kim Tate might not simply accept her proposal. Charity asks Kim to purchase her share of the wall pack at a reduced price. In Charity's mind, it was an offer too good to refuse, but Kim is far from convinced. Kim begins to question why Charity is so eager to sell up and senses she is hiding something serious. However, Charity refuses to admit the truth about sleeping with Ross Barton, becoming pregnant, and then handing the baby to Sarah Sugden and Jacob Sugden, allowing them to believe the child is theirs. Her attempt to avoid explaining the situation only deepens Kim's suspicion, and her hesitation ultimately prevents Kim from going ahead with the deal at the Woolpack. In upcoming scenes, Kim decides to withdraw completely from the purchase. Left scrambling, Charity then tries to persuade her to offer a loan instead. As Kim leaves, Charity lashes out in frustration, a moment overheard by Chas Dingle. Defeated, Charity confides in Chas that she is being blackmailed by Dr. Todd over Layla's parentage. Together, they come up with a risky plan to steal from the safe-at-home farm in order to raise the money needed to pay off Caitlin. Trying to buy time, Charity gives Dr. Todd an initial payment, but he demands the rest by tomorrow, threatening to expose everything at Sarah's 21st birthday party if she fails to comply. With the pressure mounting and her secrets closing in, Charity faces a desperate fight to protect herself and her family. Kane Dingle has reached a turning point with Moira Dingle in Emmerdale following a recent arrest. The well-known character underwent prostate cancer surgery a few weeks ago, but has been dealing with the after-effects ever since. One of the hardest parts for him was having to live with a catheter for 2 weeks. Kane strongly disliked being seen by others in that condition, and even exaggerated his discomfort at one point in an attempt to remain in hospital longer. After having the catheter removed, Kane went to the pub for a few drinks with Caleb Milligan. In his mind, the end of the medical device marked a return to normal life. However, he ended up drinking more than he intended and had a noticeably unsteady journey home. On the way back, Kane was suddenly caught short and had to relieve himself at the roadside. At that exact moment, he was spotted by PC Swirling and a colleague. He was arrested for public urination and being drunk and disorderly, leaving him furious about the situation. When Kane returned home in the latest episode, he told Moira a false version of events about where he had been. However, Moira had already found out that he had spent the night in a police cell. Throughout the day, Kane struggled with whether he should be honest with his wife, and eventually chose to open up. He admitted that the most upsetting part of the incident was being caught off guard on his way home and feeling that he had been unfairly judged as just being drunk. Reflecting on the situation, Kane realized that he can no longer handle alcohol the way he used to, recognizing that his body has changed significantly after the operation. Although he is unhappy about it, he knows he needs to accept the new reality. It turned into a rare moment of honesty for Kane, who usually avoids discussing his emotions. Given how difficult it was for him to admit the truth about such a personal embarrassment, it marks an important step forward in his relationship with Moira. Whether he continues to make progress remains to be seen. Laurel Thomas and Ross Barton are set to give in to temptation in Emmerdale next week, as their relationship turns steamy behind closed doors. The big question is how long they can keep their secret encounters hidden from everyone around them. The storyline develops after Ross and Laurel begin taking dance lessons together, which quickly lead to unexpected chemistry. Ross turns out to be surprisingly skilled on the dance floor, and their salsa sessions soon become increasingly flirtatious and intimate. At the start of the week, Gabby Thomas is seen drowning her sorrows as she confides in Dawn Fletcher about Ross's recent rejection. Shortly after, Dawn speaks to Ross in the cafe, where he insists there is only one woman he is interested in right now. Dawn does not fully understand his meaning, but Laurel quickly realizes he is talking about her and is soon drawn back into his arms. Behind the scenes, the growing affair causes complications in the village. Nicola King enjoys the excitement of knowing her friend is involved with the village heartthrob, almost revealing the secret to Manpreet Sharma. Ross looks forward to another secret meeting with Laurel, and the pair steal more private moments together. However, when Sam arrives unexpectedly, they are forced to quickly hide what is really going on. Later at the hide, Laurel is quietly thrilled by the affair. Things take another turn when Gabby announces she is finally moving on from Ross, leaving Laurel feeling less guilty and more free to continue the relationship. Laurel begins to embrace the excitement of her situation, seeing it as a chance to enjoy herself after recent emotional setbacks. While it may start as something light and carefree, there is a sense it could develop into something deeper and more complicated over time. For now, the pair continue to hide their growing attraction, but keeping the secret from the rest of the village may not be easy for much longer. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekdays at 8 p.m. on ITV1 or available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.